Are you recording on the phone?
I think have a check quickly. Cool. Comfy?
Pardon? Comfy enough.
Cool.
Wouldn't mind like a blankie and a cup of tea.
This is the Hunter's House. My name is Hal Hunter, professional tattoo. Oh, God.
Tattoo.
Yeah. First episode back in a while. This is the Hunter's House. My name is Hal Hunter, professional tattoo artist, co-owner of Carlisle Tattoo Co. And I'm sitting here in your caravan, Bella.
With me, Bella Hunter.
Yes.
Hello.
Partner in crime. Not literally, but
You never know.
yeah. Both professional tattoo artists, amateur podcasters, and amateur YouTubers. This is our first episode.
And amateur caravanners.
No, that's just you.
What, you've caravanned before?
No, I'm just like, this is your caravan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I would say, looking at those doors over there, which that you guys can't see, obviously, amateur carpenters. Is that how they're going to stay?
No.
How are you going to make the wood straight?
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Oh, goodness. We'll have
Dal, I was trying to do this while every 5 seconds, you and your mum kept asking me questions about Lenny and his food and dinner.
What do you mean? We honestly...
I got 1 million interruptions today, and also those cupboard doors are all offcuts from your parents building a room.
One of them looks good.
Yeah, the one that I've done.
So the other ones are going to...
The other 3 are a big work in progress.
Okay.
So that's the one that is good, but then the bottom needs leveling. No one can see what we're talking about, so
Yeah.
continue.
I can see it though. Anyway, we'll move on.
Does the one that I've nearly finished look good?
I feel like if you haven't listened to the podcast in a while, you're now really back into the swing of things with me and Bella arguing.
You haven't answered my question. Does the one that I've nearly finished look good?
It does look good, yes.
Thanks.
Cool. We'll move on.
Sorry, for anyone who cares, it's the first time I've ever hung a cabinet door from scratch. I had to dig out, route out the hole with 0 of the correct tools.
Okay.
And I did it.
Yep. There was a door on there before though, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was ugly though.
It was on there perfectly fine.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Can we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. This episode is brought to you by Numbit Numbing Cream, which is Australia's #1 numbing cream in Australian pharmacies.
It is.
It's true.
Yep.
I don't-
Fact.
Well, I believe it's true because I've read it, but I haven't done the research myself.
Well, I have gone to pharmacies and bought numbing cream before, and it is always that one that is there on the shelf.
Yep. Numbit.
There's-
Numit.
Yeah. Stands out.
Yes.
I always thought there was a B in it, but there's not.
I did think that actually as well. And when I originally wrote it down,
I always do it with a B.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
just
not.
habit. It's not.
Numit.
Yep.
Australia's #1 numbing cream. Thank
That's
you
it.
for sponsoring the episode.
Thank you very much.
You're contributing to this beautiful caravan fit out that Bella's doing.
I've spent $100 so far.
Okay.
$104, but 24 of that dollars were for a pair of gumboots for Lenny.
And that doesn't include purchasing the caravan, does it?
No.
Okay. Anyway,
That's irrelevant.
this is our first podcast episode, and it's the first one under the Hunter's House branding. And this is our first episode since we went to Noosa.
Yes.
Okay. When I did the interview with Hamish Clark and Ben Rourke. Mm-hmm. And then since then, we've started the YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. I think we just started actually maybe the week before we went away.
Yes, we had started because we were doing some filming.
Yep. And when we were up there, we decided we wanted to rebrand it, a bit more personal under our name. We'd had the Hunter's House branding for a while.
Yeah, in case we
And-
wanted to do something with it, and it just sat there for ages.
Yeah. And we just thought, I guess with the direction that we think the videos are going in and the podcast ultimately, which is very much more centered around us and what we're doing, which is predominantly tattooing. But yeah, under the Carlisle Studios branding, I think it was very much orientated around the shop and only the shop and tattooing. So yeah, we'd had that branding sitting there for a while, and we just thought it aligned better with how we thought this was going to progress. So yeah, we made the change. The Hunter's House on YouTube, and this obviously podcast is now called The Hunter's House as well. So
I love how I can hear your throat like gurgling because we just scoffed apple pie.
We did. We're at my parents' farm at the moment, and we just had apple pie and ice cream. And I feel like I literally just ate heaps of it before, so I can feel it.
I can hear it being like
I know it's because I need to cough, but I don't want to cough on the episode.
Just cough in the background. That's much better.
Thank you, Bella.
No problem.
Can you give me a life update, Bella, over the last few months?
It's a big ask because there hasn't been lots that's happened. And you know me, I'm a visual. I've got my phone for my photos.
Yep.
So the main things that have happened are Lenny now pulls himself up to a standing position. That happened since.
And he can walk holding your hand.
Yeah. So he started doing that, and so now he walks assisted.
Yep.
That's the main thing that's sort of happened in our life. I've done some very cool tattoos. I will get into that a bit later, but more of like a life sort of a thing.
Okay.
Something, it's a bit somber.
Oh.
But not really.
Okay.
Because one thing
Yeah.
that was very notable was after we got home from Noosa, we had to go up to Albury.
Oh, my grandmother passed away.
Yes. So we had Hal's Nana's funeral.
That is somber.
Very somber. But it was a lovely time to actually see the
family.
Yeah, the family that we hardly ever get to see. And we stayed at the most incredible place.
Oh, very true, yes.
Yes.
I was wondering where you were going with this.
Yeah, you were like, oh, why is she talking about this?
Yeah, okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but I thought you might.
Okay, I do remember. We didn't know this when we booked it, actually. And this is not a sponsorship or any paid endorsement.
No, I just think it was honestly like my dream place, and I think more people should know about it.
Okay. We didn't know this when we booked it on Airbnb, but we booked an Airbnb around the corner from where my grandparents live in Albury, which is on the border of New South Wales and Victoria.
Yeah.
And
so it's a good stepping stone to if you're going to drive to New South Wales, but you want to do it really slowly, or you're going to do a big road trip.
You're in New South Wales, but it's essentially halfway to Sydney from Melbourne.
Yes.
And that's where my family's from, if anyone's interested in knowing.
Half of your family.
Well, my dad's family, yes. And my parents live on a farm just about an hour from there. And that's where we did all our holidaying as a family, as a kid and stuff like that. So, anyway, we booked this Airbnb because we didn't want to drive the additional hour to stay at my parents' place
with Lenny
each night that we were up there.
Yeah.
Because all of the funeral stuff was in Albury.
Yeah.
And when we got the check-in information, it said like, oh, feel free to order food from the restaurant.
And we were sort of like, what the?
That the Airbnb is attached to, because it's owned by the same people. And they'll bring it into your Airbnb.
I was thinking like, what, is there a bloody Nando's next door or something?
Yeah, so it's super, and it was obviously, we can't show you photos, but it was really, really nice. It's just a 1-bedroom apartment, had an outdoor bath, outdoor fire.
Yeah, fire pit, outdoor bathtub, fairy lights, had a big outdoor table. We didn't really get to use it much because we were only there for the one night and we got there quite late. And then it was just absolutely beautiful. It was like a spiral staircase and everything was quite like old and vintage sort of a look. It was very, very nice.
The restaurant is called Norma, Norma. And they had the actual Airbnb had a specific name.
But it was listed on their website
if you go on the Norma Albury, it's a pasta and wine restaurant. If you go on their website, it's got a section about the booking availabilities and stuff like that. So if you ever are going there, we would recommend it. It's really awesome. And the food
was so good.
We had dinner at my grandparents' place.
We sound like big fatties today because apple pie, ice cream.
We'd already had dinner at my grandparents' place. But then because we were staying only one night there, we really wanted to make the most of it. So we did order the pasta anyway, which was actually awesome.
We shared.
So good, so good. I will say though, not the most family like if you've got young kids and that.
No,
it's not a suitable Airbnb because there's no doors on the bedroom and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's a spiral staircase. Luckily, Lenny wasn't really on the move too much then.
But it just meant we had to be like very, very quiet everywhere else.
Yeah, so more a romantic getaway.
I would say like it's a couple's.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that your life update?
Oh, no, sorry.
The awesome Airbnb we saying.
I have been doing more. It's essentially just tattoos and life things, like nothing amazing.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is very, it's like when customers come in and you haven't tattooed them in a few months.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, what have you been up to?
Same
and I
old.
always just go like, literally, like I could have tattooed you last week. It just feels like, not Groundhog Day, because obviously you meet and tattoo different people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the week, it's like, it's always, especially for us, it's very, very structured, very routine.
We don't do anything out of the ordinary. Like our life is very, it's just repetitive.
Except renovate vintage caravans.
This is a big one.
And before anyone rips me about the quality of the caravan, we towed this thing 600 kilometres and it
rips you for the quality? What do you mean? I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, there was a few comments at Lenny's birthday party.
What do you mean?
What? Ask your uncle.
Oh, no, he's just a bloody hater.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He's just jealous he doesn't have a caravan.
Well, he used to apparently.
He did.
A one a lot better than this. Quote.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
On the what have we been up to? So we had before I can't even remember if it was before or after. But I don't think I spoke about it on the interview with Hamish and Ben. We guested at Victory Tattoo in Maroochydore.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
That was great. Great fun.
Yeah.
It was only the one day.
We just did the one day when we were up there on holidays. Justin and all the guys there, very, very accommodating for us. They don't usually do guests, they said.
Yeah, I think they said we were the first ones.
Yeah. It was really fun day.
I don't think they'll ever have more.
Every time we do a guest spot, I always think, we should do this more. It'd be so good. But it is logistically,
tricky.
It's obviously more difficult than just going to work and tattooing.
Yeah.
So
if we were to have done more, we should have done them prior to having a child, because that's the bit
you just
that
need
makes
someone
it complicated.
to look after him.
Yeah.
If we're both going to work.
Yeah.
And if we're going on family holidays and we're like, we'll just work one day. It was like we were those idiots walking through the airport with
20
a
million
pram,
bags.
a car seat,
Yeah.
a surfboard bag. We had all the podcast stuff. We had all of our tattooing stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like lucky we obviously had paid for extra baggage. But yeah, it was just like
Chaos.
just a bit awkward and logistically very difficult.
Yeah.
But I would say great tattoo shop, great people work there, and obviously they're great
Great
tattooers.
place.
Yeah. Maroochydore was lovely.
Yeah. You'd never been, had you?
I'd never been to the sunny coast. Every customer we tattooed, some of them I've tattooed before down in Melbourne. But it was lovely. I really did enjoy it.
I don't think I tattooed anyone that I've tattooed in Melbourne. All of mine were people that I've never met before.
Yeah, I didn't recognise any of yours.
Now that I'm trying to think back on it. Yeah. So that was really cool.
Yeah. And other than that, it's just been, I guess the winter season, which in Melbourne, you definitely notice that.
Here we go.
Hey.
You're a negative Nelly about winter.
No, I'm saying because the international perception of Australia is that we don't have winter.
Yeah, no, we have winter.
And compared to lots of other places in the world, our winter is very, very temperate. It's not bad. Like we don't get snow in
the cities.
Melbourne. Like you get a little bit on top of the mountains in the
mountains.
high country, but that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Melbourne, out of all the big cities in Australia, experiences the worst weather.
Yeah, the coldest.
So
maybe Canberra. Is Canberra colder?
I wouldn't consider Canberra a big city.
What?
I don't think I'm just putting it out there.
I think that's your personal
It's
opinion.
our capital city, but I don't think I wouldn't say it's a big city.
No, I wouldn't say it's a big CBD or anything
I'm saying
like that. Like
Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth. They're the big cities.
I'm saying Melbourne, Sydney.
Okay. Well, out of the two big cities then in your mind, Melbourne has the worst winter.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point is we notice more seasonal changes when it comes to people's like activity outside.
Definitely.
It's the same across hospitality in Melbourne. It's the same across gyms and stuff like that. So we haven't had a winter season in a few years because off the back of COVID, it was unseasonably busy for across the board for a lot of industries. So this is probably the first year that it's like it has quietened
There's
down
a
for a lot of
noticeable
people.
difference.
Yeah. And we're very lucky, Bella and I, that we haven't really experienced any of that. But across the whole at the shop, there has been, a lot more quiet. It's a lot harder to get bookings and stuff like that. So this is why typically you find tattooers don't take time off over Christmas, which is our summer, and they then take time off and go on holidays during winter. So we've had pretty much everyone from the shop go and do international guest spots, or
it's been a quiet time.
Well, it's been quiet for us back there because we obviously haven't really gone away. So if you follow the YouTube,
literally every single person in the shop has gone on a holiday or a trip, even if it's a working trip, but us up until this week.
Yeah. So if you follow the YouTube, the last few videos have been like, there's been fuck all and barely anyone working in the shop, and it's just us.
And our poor customers walk in and they're like, probably thinking like everyone's quit or something.
Yeah. And I'm always like, oh no, they're overseas, or someone's overseas this week.
Yeah, we're just making up lies, aren't we?
Absolutely. I'm like, oh, actually, no one works here anymore. So it has been a bit of a weird time because you might tattoo someone, especially in the morning, and it's like you'll be the only one tattooing.
Especially because we start at 10, but everyone else starts at 11.
Yeah. So I can't even remember what I was going to say at the start of this.
I don't know. You were talking about winter. I can't give
I've lost
anything.
It. Nah, yeah.
I wasn't sure where you were going with it, but anyway.
There's nowhere to go with it, I guess.
Great.
So that's pretty much all we've been doing. Outside of work, pretty much the standard. Surfing. Oh, we have done one good, I guess, thing, but one thing that's out of the ordinary for us. We put our house on Airbnb.
Oh, and
for Christmas.
You had your first Father's Day.
Ah, I did. Yeah. Great day.
Yeah?
I think so.
You told me not to make a fuss about it.
I'll put this out there and I'll throw myself under the bus, deservedly.
Is that a word?
Deservedly.
Deservedly.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how to spell it, but it is a word.
I've never said it.
So I actually said this to Bella the other day, which is odd for me because we don't often have conversations outside of the podcast recording.
We don't talk.
Yeah. So in the lead up to Father's Day, so I've never ever celebrated really or put any emphasis on
birthdays,
holiday
Christmases.
days.
He does
event
nothing.
Days, whatever.
He'll show up and say, "Happy birthday," or
it's not even,
"Merry Christmas."
It's just like I don't know why. As kids and stuff, they weren't like big events for us. So I think there's not like a nostalgia.
Your family just aren't people who celebrate things in that way.
We celebrate other things.
Yeah, like.
But I also
like
think
fitness goals and things.
Yeah, for me, it's like also our weeks are very, very structured. So it's like I don't know the date of whatever tomorrow is.
Yeah, you didn't even know that it was your birthday. I had to tell you, hey, it's your
didn't.
birthday in 3 days.
Yeah, I didn't.
You're silly.
So anyway, but in the lead up to Father's Day, I was like, oh, actually, like, I do feel different about this because, I mean, before that Father's Day, I was like, okay, yeah, we celebrate.
You've
Dad,
had something
but
significant
I wasn't
in your life.
a father.
Change your life and your view.
Yep. And I said to you, I apologized for when it was your first Mother's Day, which was only just after we'd had Lenny. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really, obviously didn't understand at the time, like the meaning of it and stuff like that. And we'd only just become parents.
It's because that at the very end of the night on Mother's Day, we were in the kitchen and I was like tidying and Hal comes up to me and he's like, "What's wrong? I feel like you've been cold all day." And I was just like, I held back for a bit, but then I was like, I've had a shit day. This has been shit.
I can't even remember what we did on the day.
No, neither.
Well, we did normal stuff. We went to like breakfast and that. Like, yeah, but I just didn't. I obviously didn't make like a huge effort about it.
All I wanted was like a card or something.
Yeah. Well, I feel bad. Well, I've never once got anyone
But anyway,
a card,
so we had that discussion and Hal was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't think about it because coming up to Father's Day, I definitely do feel differently about it, and I wish it was something that we celebrated more."
And it wasn't.
So going forward, we will.
It wasn't like I didn't think about it. I just like didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
As in, I didn't even know. I couldn't tell you what Mother's Day is now. Like what date it is. I also couldn't tell you when Father's Day is, other than the fact you told me it was on.
Mother's Day is the first Sunday of May.
That's so confusing already.
Father's Day is the first Sunday in September.
See, that's confusing.
May, September, first Sunday.
Okay. I'll try and remember.
I'm pretty sure that's correct. Anyway.
Anyway, we had first Father's Day. It was cool.
It was very nice.
Lenny didn't really get the whole concept.
No, but Lenny did go into the piggy bank and buy you a new skateboard, didn't he?
He contributed towards it. Because I think his understanding of how much full skateboards cost.
Well, Lenny gave you $250 from his bank account.
Yep, thank you, Lenny.
Bank.
Okay.
So that cuts
Are we talking
deep
numbers
for
on
Lenny.
here?
Oh, we are now. How much does a skateboard cost? Full setup.
Well, the deck costs $259.
What?
Set of trucks is
It's a piece of wood.
Okay, well, talk to the people who manufacture them. Yeah.
Sounds the same, doesn't it?
Anyway, set of trucks runs you $100, wheels $100.
So it's like a $500
Yeah.
turnaround.
If you get like a custom wood, yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, not really.
How come when I go into the shops or something and I see one all done, ready, wheels, trucks, everything on it,
Because they're shit.
they're shit ones?
But that's like, you could say
just a
about
pre-set
anything.
up.
How come you can buy a tattoo machine on Amazon for $20?
Yeah, I wouldn't though.
But that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't buy a skateboard from Kmart.
I'm not talking about Kmart, I'm talking about skate shops and stuff.
You can't. You can buy completes, but they're like...
Not what you would want.
No, you can. Like, we got Lenny a complete for his birthday, but it's like a kid's skateboard.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So if you want a specific thing, it's like...
This is like the other day when we were in the skateboard shop buying Lenny his skateboard and the lady was like to me, "Oh, do you skate?" And I was like, nah.
No. Oh, and in
No
case
chance.
everyone doesn't realise, I'm a skateboarder now. I know. It's my
Did you see what
it's
your
not my
mum and Ray bought me earlier from the
scooter?
tip?
Yeah,
They got
did
me
see
a
that.
scooter.
Yeah,
I'm going to
when-
call it a razor scooter, but
It's not a razor.
Ray said that it's a trick one.
It's a legit trick one. Yeah.
I tried to do a
It's
jump
got
on
the
it and
T-bar.
it didn't
It's
look
like
good.
fully welded handlebars and shit.
Handlebars are real wide.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
an
going to try and
actual-
learn a trick tomorrow.
It's genuinely like...
Ow!
Sorry for the wobble in the video as well. It's like we haven't got the support legs fully down. And I'm not joking either.
I've been working on it for like 3 days and there's no support legs.
Yeah.
And I keep saying to Hal, it's moving around heaps. Are you sure they're down?
It's a learning curve, Bella. You're learning how to cut straight lines and I'm learning how to...
Well, actually, you cut 2 of those lines.
I know. And one of them's very good.
Blame yourself because that's the one you cut, the far one.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. I can't... Oh, yeah, skateboarding. A few people have asked just surfing updates and stuff like that.
Have they?
They have actually, yeah. I can show you the...
Okay.
Nothing much to report, to be honest. I feel like I've been pretty happy with my surfing.
I think you've gotten 2 new boards since we've done a podcast.
Yes. I did a double session at Urban Surf and just tried to do airs the whole time.
You were cooked after that, weren't you?
That was difficult. But I got some good photos from the session, so I'm happy with that. Mm-hmm. I've been skating a little bit. I wear wrist guards, obviously, to protect my job. And
My favourite is when you go into the garage at night once Lenny's asleep and you have made like these foam, like literally just taped foam together on the floor of the garage.
it's like foam mat flooring.
And then you've gotten tea towels from the kitchen and gaffer taped them to your shins and you're trying to do tricks. But
Well-
like be silently doing it.
The mindset behind that, and like I can skate okay. I would say like yes, I can skateboard. You know,
You can get from A to B and maybe do
I've got like a
trick in
pretty
between.
decent ollie. Can do some pop shubbits.
I know the names of these tricks, but if I saw it, I would
Yeah.
be like, don't
Can
know what that
land
is.
like the occasional kickflip, stuff like that. But my goal has been since we had Lenny was all of my hobbies was to just continue to like actually put effort because I've realized that I actually enjoy learning things.
Yes.
Not in a book because it's boring. I can't understand it.
We're a hands-on kind of family.
But I do. And I've been thinking this about my tattooing, which we'll get back to in a minute, is one of like, I just enjoy learning new things, whether it's the surfing, trying to do certain turns or focus on specific parts of my surfing. And then the same was with the skateboarding. So it's like, I can't go on the ramp in the garage in the evening because Lenny's asleep.
and
It's
the garage is right next to our bedroom.
It's too loud. So I was like, yeah, what can I do just to practice? Get on the board every day. So I get on the board every day. And I just practice manuals, nose manuals, obviously stationary because I'm on the foam. And yeah, occasionally practice flip tricks, whatever. I did 200 kick flips the other night.
And we probably go to the skate park or the basketball courts once a week with Lenny, and we let him skate around and not let him.
If you look at our Instagrams, you'll see some videos sometimes of him skating. He's better than you.
Definitely.
He's genuinely is better than you.
Yeah, but you hold me back because you say, Bella, don't get on, don't do something silly because I'll fall off.
No.
You said that yesterday.
This is a specific instance from yesterday where...
You say that when we're at home.
I'm always like, oh, Bella, get on the ramp. Like, we've got like ropes that hang from the roof which assist if you're trying to learn new things. Mm-hmm. So... That
Hal put up there for me.
Yeah. And I was like, so Bella, you can hold on to them. So it's not me holding your hand. It's you holding on to them, and if you fall off the board, you obviously just hold on to the rope and you don't fall over. You've had every opportunity to get on there and practice.
But when I did that, the skateboard came out from underneath my feet and it smashed into your surfboards. That's why I stopped.
I've created a protective barrier there now, though.
Oh, is that why that's there?
Yeah, that's why that's there, yes. But anyway, we get to the skate park yesterday at in Mount Beauty, which is the closest town to where my parents live. And... I'm with Lenny, he's on his skateboard, I'm walking around holding his hand, pulling him around. And then Bella's like tries to jump on the board. Full straight leg, standing as high as you can. And I just said, Bella, this is genuinely like... And she's like, oh, why don't you let me do it? I'm like...
My feet were in the right position though.
It doesn't matter. Because you never ever want to practice and whatever. And I was like, I don't want to be here on holidays and you just suddenly go, yeah, I'll jump on, break your arm.
Well, I've never broken a bone in my life.
No, because you don't do things like that. Jump on a skateboard. That's how it happens.
Yeah, but now I have a son who might.
That's how my dad broke his arm when we were younger.
Your dad's a bloody goose.
Exactly. He was like, oh, I'll just jump on, whatever. Whoop.
Whoop.
Broken elbow on top of the bomb shelter in our backyard.
Oh, we don't have a bomb shelter, so maybe I'd be fine.
That's actually a true story. The house we grew up in as kids, we had a bomb shelter in our backyard. Not a modern one. It was from World War II. But
you guys are doomsday preppers,
cool.
aren't you?
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's a pretty substantial life update.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Oh, do you want me to continue on about the tattooing thing I just mentioned?
Yeah.
I don't really know how to link it back to anything beyond just what we were talking about.
That's fine. You don't have to. We're just chatting.
Yeah, I started to feel recently with the tattooing that, I mean, obviously I know
you're over it.
No, definitely not. That you can, like, I obviously know you can always get better. I know there's millions of not millions, but there's lots and lots of tattooers that are better than me, and I see their tattoos every day.
Yeah.
But I just think it's always good for me in particular. It might be different for everyone to just reset and go. It's like, well, I'm just going to come in this today or this week and and actually set a goal around tattooing. Mm-hmm. And not
just showing up and doing it and going home.
Yeah. And I think we've got some more episodes written out and we're going to sort of I guess it is a change. All the questions that everyone submitted, which were today pretty much, we're going to essentially like take a handful of them because there's a lot that are similar and we dedicate like maybe not a full hour episode, but we'll dedicate an episode.
Maybe like minis.
Yeah, talking about that main topic and we won't just talk about like 20 different things, which is what we previously have done. So there's one in there about how do I get better about tattooing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they didn't specifically mention tattooing, but I've taken it as a tattooing thing.
Yeah, okay.
And then there was a lot of other questions about tattooing related things, tattoo-specific related things. Yep. So, we'll go into it a lot more in that. But, yeah, just for me, it was like recently I sort of came in, and I even said it to you. I was like, my goal for this week is to do the best tattoos I've ever done.
Which is always your goal, generally, to do the best when you get to work.
And whether that's, a lot of that is down to the customer,
placement,
with what
design,
they're getting, whether I would then deem that as the best tattoo I've ever done. Yeah. But I do definitely think after that week, I came away from it having gotten the most compliments from my co-workers than I have in a long, long time. And that might have just been by chance that I got the opportunity to do things. But I do think there's one notable moment where I tattooed this guy, Nick, He gets color stuff on his legs. And he wanted 2 like archways.
Yeah, the stairway to nowhere.
Yes, essentially. Like a brick archway with the original one. It's not like a classic design, but the concept gets done a lot.
Yep.
Is like a brick archway with a staircase that goes, you don't know where it goes.
Yeah. It's shaded, so you can't tell. It's all just like...
And then essentially the wall of the inside of the tunnel is black. Mm-hmm. And then people started doing ones that are like got galaxies in them and like all this other shit. Mm-hmm. And then you see ones that are like got things coming out of them. And he just wanted the 2 archways matching up on the back of the knees. And I was like, normally, well, maybe not normally, but a lot of the times I would just go, cool, that's a good idea. I'll just do that. Mm-hmm. But because I had come into that week specifically going like, I'm going to take every opportunity I can to do, like, try and do the best stuff I can. I then said, like, are you open to getting whatever? And he was like, yeah, I'm really open. And yeah, we ended up doing like a blue snow leopard head coming out of one and skull coming out of the other. And yeah, I was just like, whether or not people think they're the best tattoos I've ever done, it was just like, I really like those tattoos.
Well, they definitely stand out from...
Yeah, I think you mentioned it. I got a few other comments at work from it. So yeah, anyway, that was a little tangent. But there will be a lot more of that coming in future episodes. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so we've gone through... Oh, well, do you want to give a little bit about the rebrand, or you think we've covered that enough?
I feel like we've covered it. Like, we just wanted it to be more personal to us instead of based off the shops, because I guess we are the people on it every episode. Yeah. Not everyone else. So,
and I think
make it more intimate.
I do think so. I think maybe like I'll give you a little bit of my mental background with it.
Your mental background.
Yeah. Well, and again, people ask questions that will go down this in the future as well. More involved answers. But with the shop, Carlisle Tattoo Co., which is you and myself, Bobby Skins and his partner, Cody. When we started that, which initially was just me and Bobby and you apprenticing. Yep. It was it was just us. We were the only people who worked there. Yep. It was originally called Carlton Tattoo Co., but it's the same shop. We just moved streets, so we had to change the name. Mm-hmm. But so it was very, very personal, and everything we did essentially was like that's what the shop was doing.
Yeah, it had a direct impact with us and our lives and our business.
And over the next 5 years, which it has been now, we've had more people come into the shop, which means, I guess like the amount of people who reflect back on the shop is obviously increased. Yep. And the amount that what we do impacts on the shop has decreased. Yep. But maybe I didn't feel that mentally. That was a hard transition to make, because it was like almost like you had your own house and then you've let other people into it.
Now you've got tenants
but it's there. Still like you still feel like it's your house. Yep. Very similar to like, if you own a house and you start getting people to rent rooms in it. Yep. And like it was difficult for me. I felt like I was way too emotionally invested in what everyone else was doing. And I had never considered that.
You have always been someone that likes to have complete and utter control over a situation and where it's going and the potentials of what can happen. And you got to a point where work was just consuming you so much that you legitimately thought you were having like a heart attack at work, and it was just too much.
Yeah, just really stressful. So, but then on the flip side was I had never really considered that everything we do, if it's branded under the shop, reflects on everyone else in the shop. And there's no I feel like we don't do anything that
crazy
reflects negatively on anyone and stuff like that. But it was just something that I had never considered. So, we had obviously been working a little bit in the background for a while and had been thinking and talking about how do we keep the brand of the shop as strong as it is, and still obviously be heavily involved in that, but then be able to do different things. Because in the past, you will have seen we've done Carlisle Threads, which is like, it's a separate thing, but because it's branded the same, it's essentially...
It's got the same style.
We haven't
it's
been
got
able
Carlisle
to...
as it.
And it's all the same owners.
Yeah.
But we just haven't been able to break away because we've I think we feel like the shop branding is very strong. We love it.
And you also do want to play into it because it all does join back together.
Of course,
and, work off each other.
But I think, the thing that we have is like we've got our own lives, obviously, outside of the shop and outside of tattooing. And, we wanted something that we wanted to be able to have something branded that would allow us to...
go in different...
Yeah, just take opportunities if they came up that might not necessarily specifically align with tattoo shop related.
It might
content.
follow a different path for a little bit. It might divert back to where we were. You never know. Like it
caravan
just gives us
renovation
options.
tutorials, stuff like that.
Cupboard doors.
Exactly. We'll be losing a lot of subscribers right now. But yeah, anyway, so that's why we did the branding. I liked the house art thing that I'd drawn.
I loved that.
I was going through a real Hawaiian stilt beach house era.
You were obsessed with going to Hawaii, and I said no.
Yeah. You did, and rightly so. We've been there before.
Very fair.
Why would we go back?
It was a bit expensive and a long flight for a baby.
Yes, but Beyonce stayed where we stayed, so...
Couldn't care less.
Yeah, anyway. Okay. We'll move on to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The Hunter's House, obviously.
Yes.
Which is, if you haven't seen it, it's literally just The Hunter's House.
Yep.
It's
us, our branding. It's a mixture between our lives, so
tattooing related lives.
Yeah, tattooing lives. So a day in the life where we take you through from when we leave the house to when we are leaving work.
Which is pretty much just tattooing.
Yeah. We might go get a coffee, but we take you through.
Yeah.
Like you can see the shop properly, and our colleagues sometimes pop into the videos and whatnot. We show you like point of view tattooing. We've done like some setting up of our machines and whatnot.
It's just more long form content than you get on Instagram Reels or TikTok.
Yeah.
But
it's a bit more purposeful.
Yeah. It's been predominantly obviously one style of video, which is more the vlog style, which is like, hey, this is what we're doing today, and then obviously you see the footage of it, and then we talk about it afterwards. There's a few videos that are very long form, like an hour or so, 30 minutes to an hour, of just POV tattooing, which is something that we haven't been able to put out on any other platform. And yeah, just something that's like, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I was just like, what stuff do I watch? You know, I just watch raw POV surfing GoPro videos, essentially.
Nothing like super edited or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you just want to see exactly what it is.
Yeah.
As if the person who's living it is seeing it. And
I actually like watching them. Like, those, not necessarily the ones of us talking and shit like that, but I
don't like watching our own ones.
And watch the footage of me tattooing, like POV.
Yeah, like, I don't like watching them. I don't like the sound of my own voice and seeing myself on camera. Okay. It's just...
I love it because I'm just obsessed with myself.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And then, so we'll do some more stuff on there. We try and put one video out a week at least.
Yeah.
It's definitely easier for us to produce the video content than it is the podcast stuff.
Yeah.
Because we can do that while we're doing our job.
Yeah.
Whereas this, we have to have the time after work. It's difficult.
After we've put Lenny to sleep and,
exactly.
Then we also need to have some downtime after work.
So I think, since we got back from Noosa, we have obviously been like...
Slack.
Not necessarily
slack with producing of this sort of content and parts of our life, but not slack as in like we haven't dropped the ball in any other way. Yeah,
I do think about this, and there's another episode I've written up roughly about the social media and Instagram and stuff, because someone asked about that. And I get really conflicted about it. On one hand, I feel like...
Don't share that whole episode's
I won't.
Now.
Well, I'll give him a teaser.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel and genuinely I do feel very, very conflicted about it because on one hand, I feel like we're doing fuck all. Mm-hmm. Like, and I feel like a lot of the content we put out is like, I feel like some of it's half-assed. You know, I'm like, we could do better videos. Obviously, we could do a lot more better podcasts. We could market it better. We don't do. I mean, we're filming this one because we've got the channel to put it on YouTube now. But we won't, like, this won't get cut up and then put the best snippets of it on TikTok or Instagram, you know? Like, so I'm like, I know there's like all these things that we could be doing that ultimately would be beneficial in the long run.
Yeah.
And potentially.
But we are time poor and we want to be present when we are together as a family and not at work.
I'm not saying that
it's impossible.
The flip side is like, oh, I don't want to do the dad stuff. What I'm saying is, but then I'm also like, I feel like the flip side of feeling like we're doing fuck all is like, I still feel like we actually are putting more content out than 99% of other tattooers.
Yeah.
And
I'm content with what we're doing because I'm happy with my time at work and I'm happy with my time at home and I don't want to slack on either and I don't want to feel burnt out from either as well. So, and I think people really struggle to find that happy medium between the two. And at the moment, I'm actually quite confident to say that I'm happy with it. I mean, I would love to have more time with us three because obviously one of us is at work when the other's at home with Lenny and whatnot. But there are going to be times in life when family takes a priority, work takes a priority. And right now, this is just the season that it is.
Yeah. No, but I feel I'm happier than ever. But I look back and go, because previously in my life, I've probably obviously been very selfish when it comes to like the things that I want to do. And it was like when I saw that there was an opportunity to do something, it was like I sacrificed everything else and just did that. And then I've been able to see the benefits of that. Mm-hmm. So now I feel like even though we still are producing more content, which then I guess that's the marketing for our tattooing, which the ultimate goal is to just be able to do tattoos every day. Mm-hmm. And that, I guess we've seen that play out over the years, how that like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago for me, doing certain things has then had a certain result. And then you do that again, or you do that again, and you do that again. And then ultimately you get to the goal, which is to be able to tattoo every day. And I always say, and I'll talk about this in the social media episode, if I was guaranteed could tattoo every single day, well, every day that I wanted to work.
4 or 5 days a week.
Yep. And I didn't have to have socials at all, I wouldn't be doing it. Wouldn't be doing podcasts, wouldn't be doing YouTube, wouldn't be doing Instagram, TikTok. That's like, I actually do enjoy doing it, obviously. And I like the results it has. And it's nice. Obviously, it's nice. People like your work, whatever. But if I could have the guaranteed work every day, which means, you know, you have a guaranteed income, it's like I have no desire yet to be social Instagram famous or whatever. But that's just what you have to do. So then I'm like, I don't know. I sort of feel though I'm like, now because obviously my time is divided, and when we chose to have a kid, I said I only want to do it if I can be very present, which is why when we're at home and stuff, we don't use our phones. But I still do sit there and think, and I wouldn't change it because I could change it if I wanted, and I wouldn't. But I do sometimes sit there and think and go, there's a lot more opportunities out there for us work-wise.
I think that all the time.
If we didn't do other things. But those other things are like obviously being a present parent, but then also looking after your body, working out, doing whatever. Like I could not do that for an hour and do more drawings or do more paintings or something. Yeah. But then
I know that if I did that, I would get burnt out.
No, so I would as well,
I'm not going to pressure myself to do it because we've done it in the past and it was fine, but every other aspect of my life dropped off.
Yeah. No,
because of that. I put all of my eggs in the one basket because I wanted a certain outcome. And it was fantastic because the outcome that I wanted happened, but the rest of my life suffered.
Definitely. Anyway, I think that's a good recap episode. Yeah.
Of the past few months.
But yeah, so that's a little teaser of what's coming up. That's a recap of our lives. Get our voices back in your ears. So it's like,
blah, blah, blah,
it's
blah.
not like a foreign sound anymore. It's like,
Well, you sound a bit silly right now because you got a bit of a cold.
I know. So
I know.
frustrating.
So nasal.
Every time I go on holidays, I always get sick.
Yeah. Allergic to rest.
Yeah. So thank you to Numbit, Australia's number one numbing cream in Australian pharmacies, for supporting this episode. We're actually about to turn this one off and start recording an episode about numbing cream. Okay.
Bit of an info sesh.
Yeah. So The Hunter's House, we're on YouTube as just a content channel.
Yep.
But also you'll be able to watch and listen to the podcast on YouTube.
Not every episode.
No, every episode you can listen on YouTube.
Yes.
We might not film every episode, but this one will be up there.
Yeah.
And we're on Spotify and Apple Music, I believe. I think they're the only ones.
Yeah.
So
It
The
is.
Hunter's House. This is like our 40-something episode so far.
It's nearly at 50.
Yeah.
I think
Which
it's
is,
48 or 49.
Yeah. So that's a lot of episodes, a lot of us talking. If you want to go
That's
back,
a lot of
go back and listen to the backlog.
a jibber jabber.
There's a lot of chit chat in there. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.